Hi, I'm Pat Barner, Group Managing Editor for TMCnet, coming to you from Interactions 2011 here in Indianapolis. This is Interactive Intelligence's annual users forum. And joining me is Rob Ejak, Director of IT for Apex Financial. Hi, Rob. How you doing?
Hi, I'm well.
Good. So tell me a little bit about Apex Financial and what you guys do first.
Apex Financial is first and foremost a collections agency working with all sorts of receivables.
Okay, great. And I understand that you've been an Interactive Intelligence customer for a little over a year now. Is that about right?
We're coming close up to a year at this point.
Yeah. Okay, great. And in addition, you're also using Latitude Software's suite of applications as well.
We've used all the Latitude software for quite a while now.
Yeah, for about 8 years, I think you said.
Almost 8 years. Yeah.
Right. Okay, great. Okay, so of course we've got the recent acquisition of Latitude by Interactive Intelligence, and they have now set down the path of integration between the CIC platform and Latitude's suite of offerings. Tell me a little bit about how you're using CIC now and in conjunction with Latitude's offerings.
Well, we replaced a competitor's dialer about a year ago with the i3 system.
Interaction dialer.
With the interaction dialer.
Yeah.
And we were able to basically integrate the mini client, is what i3 calls it.
Yep.
Plug it into the Latitude system. So basically our agents see a small dialer window along with their CRM product, which is Latitude, and are able to dial and get all the dialer functionalities that they need directly from the Latitude and interactive screen.
Right, okay, yeah, and I saw this client. It's pretty neat. I saw a demo of it earlier today during one of the Latitude sessions. And it's pretty cool. It's very discreet, you know, it just sort of sits off to the corner of the screen, doesn't take up a lot of screen space, just has it's very streamlined. It's just basically has very basic functionality, right?
Yeah, you don't need to load the agents up with a whole bunch of functions and buttons and stuff that they may or may not need.
Right.
They really need to focus on dialing the right number that they're supposed to, or being fed a number that they're supposed to dial, and then the account information that they need to do their job. So by keeping it small, out of the way, and very discreet, it allows them to focus better on what the goal is.
Right, okay. Tell me about some of the other functionalities delivered via the client. Like after they wrap up a call, there's functionality in there for what you do with it, right?
Yeah, basically they only have to choose one disposition, and it will notate both in an i3 database as well as into the Latitude database. So the integration between them make it so that there's no redundant steps where somebody has to mark or update or disposition multiple screens anywhere.
Okay.
And this allows the reporting to be very tightly integrated. And then once again, it keeps the agent focused on what they have to do instead of having to deal with technology, work against technology. They work with it.
Right, right. Obviously, for compliance issues, all of their calls are being recorded. Is there a call recording feature or anything along those lines via the client?
There is a call recording feature, but for the most part, it's disabled. We really, once again, don't need people deciding whether or not, agents deciding whether or not calls should be recorded. So it's really set up to be automatic.
Yeah, I would imagine that'd be the case in your industry. So, in terms of other integrations that have taken place, is there anything else beyond that client in terms of the way you're using CIC in conjunction with the Latitude products?
Well, it's still pretty new for us. We're still trying to get into a lot of the functions and features of the dialer features in i3, as well as integrating into Latitude even more so. We're really looking forward to some even tighter integration than what we've got right now.
Right.
Looking forward to a lot of the new features and functionality of interaction analysis, analyzer product that's coming out with the 4.0 product.
Right.
Some of that stuff looks really cool.
Yeah.
And we really see it as being very helpful to continuing to do what we do successfully.
Sure, yeah, and I think they're off to a good start in terms of the integration. It's just that there's quite a bit more left to go.
They're kind of new to each other as well, too, so I expect nothing but good things in the future based on the good integration that they have currently. So.
Right, okay, great. And how's the support been so far?
Support's been really good. i3 does a really good job. They've got a really good technical support team, always there when we need them. Haven't needed them a lot, which is always a good sign, especially with a brand new product for us. New technology, to not have to call support every day, all day, you know, is a good thing. And when you do, having them there is also a good thing.
Right, right. Collections industry, obviously, seeing a lot of legislative changes now, a lot of compliancy changes. A lot of it has to do with the political landscape, concerns about privacy, concerns about do not call, all of this stuff, concerns about what you do with customer data after you've collected it. It's a changing landscape all the time. In a lot of ways, that changing landscape sort of predicates how the applications are designed, what feature sets, what functionality, and whatnot. As such, I would imagine that it's pretty important for companies operating in the collection space to choose technology partners that are aware of and capable of dealing with the changes that result, right?
Yes, it's very important. This is why i3, because they've made a commitment to this particular vertical market, to learn and adapt to the regulations and compliance issues that we have in our industry is very important. Any other dialer that may or may not be familiar with these types of rules are not going to be able to help us comply with these rules, which is why we have the technology in the first place, is to make sure that we can do what we do and not break any rules doing it.
Right.
And if we have the technology helping us, all the better.
Right, as opposed to working against you,
Yes.
because as we both know, every instance is a potential fine.
That's right.
And also, it's not just the one instance, is it? Because
No.
once they find the one,
Yep.
they're going to go and
Start
look for
looking
all
for
the
others.
others. Right.
So exactly, and that's why you want to make sure that the technology you're using is aware of the regulations, aware of the changing in the regulations, and helps you follow those regulations so you don't cause a violation inadvertently.
Okay, great. Latitude software has been around for a while now. I mean, its products have been out there. They're battle hardened, proven out there in the industry. Obviously, it was a pretty key acquisition for Interactive. Definitely bolsters, strengthens their ability to be able to target this particular market. Just wondering if you could just sort of speak to the advantages, the benefits, if you will, of Latitude's products over some of the other ones that are out there.
Well, Latitude started out initially as a collection CRM, so it's always been in that space,
Right.
and they've branched out to include all sorts of features and functionality as things change in the collections world. It's an open database system, so it works very well on SQL Server, which works for us because we are a Microsoft technology shop.
Right. Holds the cost down.
Keeps the cost down as far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
All Windows-based, which is very good for us. It just seems to work for us, and they've been growing and changing, and I think the acquisition of i3, acquiring Latitude, really, once again, shows the commitment that i3 has to the space, but it also is going to give Latitude resources that they didn't have before that can help them grow into an even stronger platform for this industry.
Right. And it's my understanding you're using the full broad Latitude suite of...
Yeah, we have pretty much everything from Latitude.
Really? And making full use of all of it, pretty
I'm
much?
making full use of pretty much all of it.
Really? Yeah. Wow. That's impressive. And you're running the software locally, right? It's on premises or?
It's on premises, correct.
Yeah, right. Okay. Great. The reason I ask is obviously there's some exciting things happen on the interactive side with their CAS offering. So, there'll probably be, a lot of companies looking into the migration over to that side. And then, of course, with the Latitude piece and the whole integration roadmap, there's going to be some opportunities there for, I would imagine, a lot of collections companies to be able to migrate to that CAS model and still get all the benefits of the full Latitude application suite in due time.
Right.
So, and I think that's also going to be, speaking to what you said about, open standards and holding down the cost and everything else. I mean, obviously you have to be scalable in your industry as well.
Yes.
It scales up and down. It has its peaks and valleys. So operationally, I would imagine there's going to be some benefits for a lot of collections companies in that regard, right?
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Anything else you want to say about your experience thus far with Interactive and with CIC?
Just looking forward to continued integration and growth and continued success with both companies to make our business a success.
Okay, great. Thanks very much for your time, Rob. We've been talking to Rob Ejak, Director of IT for Apex Financial, coming to you from Interactive Intelligence's Interactions 2011 event here in Indianapolis. Thanks again for your time.
Great. Thank you.